My name is Gavin Thompson. I am 32 years old, and I live in Cedar Grove, a quaint little neighborhood where charm seems to outshine the sun and friendliness flows like sweet tea on a hot day. During my first few months living in this community, I felt excited and hopeful. I had finally purchased my own house, a little slice of happiness among quirky neighbors and well-kept lawns. However, that tranquility quickly dwindled when I encountered my infamous back neighbor, Rick. Rick is a character straight out of a reality television show, sporting a tank top boldly proclaiming "Weekend Warrior," while he spends his days lounging on the driveway, chugging Coors Light like it was water. With his ill-fitting shorts and that confident grin, he thinks property lines are merely a suggestion like an unspoken rule in an unrefined playbook. But there is one thing about Rick that truly tests my patience: his massive golden retriever named Duke. Duke is a sweet dog, brimming with energy, but he has a peculiar habit that has turned my life upside down. Every single day, Duke heads straight to the dead center of my lawn without fail to leave his presence. Initially, I thought Rick simply did not realize Duke's unholy contributions to my yard. Walking over to his property with a smile and a friendly demeanor, I politely asked him if he could at least keep Duke on a leash, or better yet, scoop up the mess after him. To my surprise, Rick looked me straight in the eye, chuckling lightly, and said, "It is all nature, bro. You do not own the earth." That was the moment I realized I was dealing with someone who had no concern for boundaries or common decency. Frustrated but determined to find a solution, I attempted several conventional tactics. I patched the fence between our yards, installed a motion-activated sprinkler system, and held out hope that the citrus deterrent I read about would steer Duke away from my lawn. However, each effort was met with mocking laughter. When Rick saw the sprinkler system, he grinned and remarked, "Nice try, but Duke is built different." Rick was right in one aspect. I was built differently too, and it was time I transformed my irritation into a plan of payback. The plan started with a simple Home Depot bucket, which I lined with a trash bag, ready to collect Duke's unwanted contributions. Every morning I would scoop up those steaming piles of poop, adding a bit of water for dramatic effect. After 2 long weeks of this strategic collection, I had something that resembled a grotesque soup concoction. The stage was set for my revenge, and I could not wait to see how it would unfold. One Saturday morning, while Rick was out and about, I seized the opportunity. I marched over to the borderline of our yards, bucket in hand, and strategically painted a delightful tribute to Duke's gift right along the edges of his yard, strewing it about his deck and his beloved fire pit area like it was confetti at a party. He returned home later, sniffed the air, and exclaimed, "What the hell is that smell?" I sat on my porch sipping coffee, unable to contain my amusement as I casually replied, "Smells like nature, bro." But wait, it gets even better. Our neighborhood had a Facebook group, and I could not resist the temptation to use it to my advantage. I began posting updates, outlandishly titled "Lost Dog Poop." Each status detailed Duke's latest offerings deposited carelessly in my yard. "Found, steaming hot dog present near my mailbox. If this belongs to you, please collect your property before it fossilizes. Thanks." The cherry on top was my creativity sparked by annoyance, and I began crafting little "Do not poop here" signs made from popsicle sticks and toothpicks, complete with glitter and googly eyes. I even composed cleverly passive-aggressive haikus, spreading them across my lawn like a poet of rebellion on the warpath. "Dear Duke the Pooper, this is not your golden throne. My grass feels betrayed." Rick, however, was not amused. One day he stormed over, red-faced and furious, demanding, "Are you trying to make me look bad?" I blinked in confusion, since I surely did not need to try. I could watch his reputation crumble in real time, all thanks to Duke's unfortunate habit and my creative genius. The neighborhood soon turned against him, and Duke's unacceptable behavior became a community-wide joke. Others chimed in, reporting similar mishaps involving Duke and his intentions to claim their yards as well. The consequence? Rick had no choice but to build an actual fenced-in dog run and begin walking Duke on a leash like a responsible dog owner. And me? I would sometimes still craft those little haiku signs just for fun, a joyful reminder of my triumph in the mundane battlefield called life. As my yard flourished, untouched by Duke's crude offerings, I reflected on how sweet the satisfaction of victory truly was. In the end, I found my own slice of peace in Cedar Grove, and if any lingering issues arose, I knew I had the strength to face them with humor and creativity. The plants grew taller, the air felt lighter, and now every step in my yard was a proud reminder that sometimes revenge is best served humorous and whimsical, leaving behind a narrative that the entire neighborhood would remember.